This one is about, well, mostly liars and stupid people. As many of y'all know, I really do have an aversion to stupid people. Stupid people make things worse for everyone else. Stupid people are the ones who think that ignoring abuse until it goes away is effective. Let me tell you something. That little girl who come up because you're her friend, she come up to you and tell you about her daddy molesting her because she needs help stopping her daddy from continually molesting her. You tell her just to let it go. You're not going to go to the cops. So what happens to that girl? She goes home and she gets raped by daddy again. And again, and again, and again. And again, and again, and again, and again. And when it gets so severe that she has to do something desperate to try to get help, you're going to treat her like shit because she had to do something desperate because your pretty fucking words were bullshit. Your friendship was fucking bullshit. Girls think they got it bad. By comparison with men, no, not even fucking close. Homeless, disabled males are the easiest person in America to victimize, bar none. These things that were done to me are highly illegal, but who gives a shit? I mean, don't get me wrong. When I came up here to help Rebecca, I came up here specifically to help Rebecca and to find David and Katie Saltzman. By the time I got here, Rebecca was missing. So, of course, spent a whole month trying to find her. Well, this right here, this iPad, this pink thing here, was sent to me by David and Katie Saltzman. After spending most of the day plugged in, it's at 31% charged. Katie sent that to me, and she was going to come down and help me, come all the way to Nebraska when I had my own place to help me. Why? Because the people who were court ordered to help me did not. See, I didn't have a caseworker when I had a place. I was supposed to have one. What I got was fucking ignored and abused. Repeatedly. These people are neglecting their duties. Now, you guys complain about the things that I've had to go through. You complain about them happening to others. How wrong it is to happen to others. But then, when it's a homeless person, you fucking egg it on. How many of my supposed friends bothered to take a look at any of this fucking evidence and actually help? None. Not a single one. Not even one. Through all of this, not a single one. Mandy Singer, she finally took a look at the evidence. It's not like I wasn't trying to get help. It's not like I wasn't sending this stuff out to everybody I knew to try to get actual help. Mandy Singer admitted that she really couldn't do anything because she was too fucked up on drugs. Now, she was going to go into court with me. She wasn't able to because of family problems. A lot of people gave me empty promises and then gave me every excuse why they couldn't keep their word. They should have told those things to the police. They should have told those things to the cops. They should have told those things to my public pretenders. But then again, how much effort did they make? Zero. That's right. I have dozens of my loved ones who are dead over this situation. And what are you guys doing about it? I had called everyone there is to call. This has been going on for 6 years. In the last 6 years, I have killed a grand total of 0 people. I've done everything that I can to try to get an honest day in fucking court. I have done everything that I can alone to try to turn these crimes in. Alone. Every single time. The 2 times where people went in with me to talk to the cops. The first one, Molly Smith, didn't know shit about what the fuck was going on. That doesn't make her a bad person. The second one, finally, after 3 or 4 years of trying to get help, hoping that Laura Nelson would fucking tell the goddamn truth. Well, she finally went in with me. And how did that turn out? She didn't say a goddamn thing. Then she outright lied to me on the way out. Fuck it. I'm not a human being, am I? If you're gonna treat people like this, you deserve to be treated that way. That's called equality, folks. See, that's one of the things with these feminists talking about equality. No, that's not equality. Telling me it's okay for you to victimize me because your grandma didn't have the right to fucking vote? I'm gonna tell you something. Back in 1783, I didn't have the right to vote either. Do you know why? I wasn't alive in 1783. Neither were you. You do not get to punish me for the crimes of others. You do not get to abuse me, back me into a corner, slander me, poke me with a stick with you and all of your fucking friends, and then pretend that you're the victim when I scream for fucking help because you won't stop. Then we gotta deal with a bunch of crazy goddamn female stalkers. Women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers than men. I have many examples of this in my own life. Brianna Hernandez Cordona stalked me from when she was 15 years old until she was 19. She stalked me for 4 years. Kristen Kepler stalked me for almost a year. I've had stalkers before, people. That bullshit with Natalie, with all of those stalkers, that wasn't the first time I had to deal with a stalker. It's the first time that I had to deal with a whole bunch of stalkers that I couldn't get the fuck away from, even after driving 1,700 miles. I've got all the evidence that I need and have posted so much of it that proves that I am the one who has been telling the truth. That evidence proves that my predators outright lied in court. That includes law enforcement. That includes the Bollingers and their hangers-on. When it comes to female stalkers, right now my brother's dealing with one. I haven't talked to my brother in 5 years. So how do I know that he's got a stalker? Because his stalker got a hold of me. She got a hold of me to say that my brother blocked her because she's stalking him, and then she wants me to get a hold of my brother for her. I don't mind getting a hold of my brother for her, but I don't have the ability to do it. Meanwhile, let's go and find out this woman's name for y'all. This one's pretty easy. Her name is Caitlin Rose. Of course, we should probably read some of this. Oh, here we're talking about bat caves in Texas. That's because she wants to get into, hold on, what's it called? Opera. She types here, how do you feel about opers? OPERA, opera. Of course, I couldn't help myself. I said, I think she's a human being. And Caitlin wrote, we are all human beings, silly. No, like going to an opera, lol. I typed, well, I never met her. Oh, you mean like Faulkner and singing beast women and two tight bodices and bullhorn hats? Well, I'd prefer if they did it in comfy clothes and sensible shoes. Seems awful uncomfortable. But we're going further up, aren't we? Now, why are we going up? Ah, here. Uh, here we're talking about finding Rebecca. All right, so she sends me this message on the 9th saying, okay, Sean, can I join your vigilante squad and save grandpas and such without microchips? I typed vigilante squad with a question mark. I typed, what do you mean? She typed, okay, well, and then she didn't get a hold of me until, let's see, Crystal Harris, Supergirl. I typed seven of the cops I tried to turn in are in prison. She typed, then it's all good. No rapey, fuck you off cops. Hell yeah. But here's the thing, none of those cops are in prison for what they did to me. I mean, kind of, sort of they are, because the things that they did to me, they did to others. But really, they only got in trouble for doing those things to others. Law enforcement to this day wants to pretend like nothing happened to me. I spoke about all these places, all of these people. Anyway, she was typing to me, uh, I typed, you seem to be experiencing some PTSD. She typed, what? I typed, trying to understand what you have been typing to me. I guess I just don't have enough information to make sense of it. Because she's really not sharing any information. She's just making statements just to make a statement. Like, well, I'm not going to go up and make examples. Find the examples. We'll just continue. Fuck it. She typed, that's like the doctor's diagnosis, methamphetamine addict moderate. She is a meth addict. She's also a heroin addict. She's got a lot in common with Natalie, as far as that goes. I typed, well, if you are an addict, you are still a person. I thought you were into heroin, though, not meth. I suppose I just assumed because Hobbs couldn't stay off the H. And yes, I know you two haven't been together in forever. She types, me and Hobbs aren't friends even anymore. And nope, don't like, support, or do opiates. And don't you know heroin is like the best part of see, that's the shit she's typing to me. She typed LOL, and no, I don't really consider myself an addict. That was my doctor's diagnosis. I typed indeed. I've never tried heroin or cocaine or crack, so I don't know what it's like. I'm glad I haven't gotten addicted to anything. She typed cigarettes, coffee, isn't it funny? Well, in that case, she's right. Cigarettes, and of course, I'm outside of a Starbucks. Anyway, I typed cigarettes and coffee don't make you a meth addict. She typed no, they don't. I'm not a meth addict. I typed I smoke cigarettes and drink coffee too, and I'm also not a meth addict. Should we make a club? She typed yes, we can have. Yes, can we have jackets? I don't smoke cigarettes. I do, however, kind of like the vape cigs, but. And I replied, what kind of jacket? Like a hoodie or like a mini biker jacket with diamond buttons? She typed, ooh, I do love mink, lol. No, we got to go with like London fog trenches. And of course, we're not even to the part where she's talking about stalking my brother or asking me to watch him or asking me to get a hold of him for her or any of that. Now, mind you, when Natalie disappeared, Caitlin's one of the people I got a hold of. I got a hold of a lot of people to try to get help, try to find someone who would go in with me, somebody who actually gave a shit. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody. Most of them are already aware that homeless people aren't going to get listened to because they've had to go in and do it themselves. It's not going to work if you do it yourself. It's never going to work if you have to do it yourself. They will call you mentally ill and get away with doing whatever the fuck they want. That's why I needed people like Caitlin to help. That's why I needed people like Rabbit to help. That's why I needed someone to give a shit before Natalie was shot in the fucking head. I was trying to get the help that I needed. That's why I went to see Tamara. That's the reason that I went to, God, what did they call that at the time? Marcia Estrada and all them took it over. Region 1, that's what it is. Region 1 had Tamara and Nicole Peralta before Natalie died, and I was seeing both of them. I was also seeing Jeff Ritter of Colorado Coalition of the Homeless. I was also seeing Nicole Gerald, who is the one who got me in contact with Jeff Ritter. We've got a lot of cowards, too. Let me tell you about some cowards, like Mr. Eder. Mr. Eder, the first year that I was out there passing out blankets, Mr. Eder was helping me. It was me, him, and a guy called Ogre, whose real name is Christopher Weaver. We spent almost that entire year walking drunks to the Warman Center. Yes, it was mostly drunk people. Sage quit after the first year. He went home. Of course, Sage was one of those homeless people who was homeless by choice. He come from an upper middle class family, so I mean, for him it was just a vacation. For him it was a bunch of pot smoking and tripping balls. Then there's Case Leighton Morris. Now this is a guy who, I had nothing but respect for a lot of years. Mr. Eder and Case Morris are two people that I was in contact with while in Virginia and afterwards. Both of them threw me away when Natalie disappeared. They didn't find out what's going on. They didn't bother to try finding out what's going on. They just threw me away like I was trash. You're damn right I'm gonna fucking speak up. See, while there's these rights that I'm supposed to have, Marcia Estrada was talking about, well, the tricks that they pull. Marcia called it their sleight of hand. Well, how do you prevent them from doing that sleight of hand? You do the things that I'm asking. You go in with me in person, and you fucking record it. If you make a call without me, I am not going to take your word for it. You need to record it. If you talk to a lawyer on my behalf, I would rather have the evidence than have to believe your word, especially if you're not going to show up in court. Case in point, my autism advocate. Yes, she has permission to make those calls, but she needs to push that shit into court, or she needs to fucking record it so that I can take it to court. And are those things going to happen? No, because this doesn't affect her. She's not forced into homelessness. She's not having to deal with people threatening to murder her and her fucking family. She should have spoke up. We should have gotten this all ironed out when she first became my autism advocate. She should have made it clear from the very beginning, not just to me, but also to the Dual County Sheriff's Department and the Nebraska State Patrol that she's not actually a fucking advocate. Not that it matters. They called her an advocate anyway so that they can say I had an advocate. But she did not perform any of the duties that are legally required of an advocate for them to call that person an advocate. And then they denied her the right to do any of the things that an advocate is supposed to do anyway. Meanwhile, these people are supposed to help me with my court stuff. When I say these people, I'm not talking about my autism advocate, Megan Messigatis. I'm talking about the Department of Health and Human Services. I'm talking about Adult Protective Services. I'm talking about Marcia Estrada and Penny Cooper. I'm talking about Jeff Ritter. I'm talking about all of these people that you're supposed to go to. These are the people you're supposed to go to. I went to the Nebraska State Patrol like I was told to. I went to the Nebraska Attorney General's office like I was told to. I went to the FBI like I was told to. All of these places I had to go in alone and try to do these things. I had to make these phone calls by myself. And I got treated the way that I told you I would get treated if I had to do it myself. There are laws in place on the books that make what was done to me highly illegal, but it's only illegal if you give a fuck. If you're going to look the other goddamn way, you're an idiot. I'm not going to pretend that you're not a fucking moron. Like Brandon Ratner, he's pissed off because I called him a fucking idiot. Well, he's a fucking idiot. This shit ain't rocket science. He says he wants to help me but he can never follow through because he's always chasing vagina. He's a hell of a nice guy. Is it okay for nice guys to chase vaginas the way that the assholes who chase vaginas do? No, not really. Because he's a nice guy, he's not going to get that attention. We have trained women in this country to believe that abuse is love. We've taught women in the United States that if a man is not abusive, he doesn't care about her. We've also taught them that it is perfectly acceptable for them to destroy a man's life. It is perfectly okay for a woman to slander a man's life, slander his name, destroy any possibility of the future that he has, and although it's illegal as fuck, none of this is based on the law. It's based on bias. It's based on who is easiest to victimize. I have had 0 people in my corner. 0. I've had lots of people who made false claims, false allegations, false promises. I've had lots of people tell me lots of shit after telling me they were going to help me. But you know what? They didn't. They didn't keep their word. And as a result, the cops got to write something down on my paperwork that was an outright lie that you people know is an outright lie. But rather than speaking up, you want to play victim because I showed the truth because you're a fucking coward and a liar. If it actually happened and you're not speaking up, you're a coward. If it's not true, you fucking lied to me. You call me mentally ill as an excuse to harm me. Over and over again. Why is it that these motherfuckers keep letting me out? Fucking morons. They keep letting me out because they've already done all the damage that they can to my name and my reputation. There's not a goddamn thing I can do without help, and nobody has helped me. The closest that I had was Mandy Singer. It doesn't matter if you send me $50. It doesn't matter if you tell me you're sorry. If you are not sharing my story, if you are not speaking out, you aren't helping. If you are not trying to help me to get an honest day in court, you're not helping. If you're not speaking up on your Facebook and on your YouTube, you are not doing anything productive. Sending me a friend request to pretend like you want to help me and then ignoring me for 6 goddamn months. Yeah, go the fuck away. Don't fucking waste my goddamn time. I gotta deal with enough of you goddamn fake fucking pieces of shit. Here's the thing people don't want to look at. They don't want to look at how a man is treated when he's not even allowed to defend himself. When defending himself is against the law. It's against the law for a disabled homeless male to defend himself against his predators. But apparently, it's not illegal for those predators to harm him. It is okay for people to assault me. If I defend myself, I will be arrested. I stated this loud and clear before Natalie was ever fucking killed. You pieces of shit. Meanwhile, despite the fact that people like Caitlin, I got a hold of, when Natalie disappeared, we didn't even know she was dead yet. We just knew she was missing. And Caitlin, the other day, I'm texting her about it. She's like, I didn't know nothing about it. Of course you didn't know nothing about it. Just like every other woman in America, we taught you to only care about yourself. The only person who matters is you because you have the vagina. That is sexist as hell. This idea that men owe it to women to help them. And then that men have to do it themselves. No, when a man is being victimized, he needs more help than a woman. More help than a woman. Because a woman is 11 times more likely to be a stalker than a man. She is also a lot more likely to get help. She's also a lot more likely to get her friends involved in the stalking. People are dead. Why are the cops so invested in making sure that none of this goes to court? Why are they so invested in abusing their power, committing felonies by doing so, risking the rest of their lives in prison to prevent me from speaking? Does that occur to any of you? Why is it that evidence that is on my YouTube channel and my Facebook for everyone to see, these guys get to pretend that I'm schizophrenic in court, and I'm denied the right every single time to show any of that evidence? I need someone to actually defend me, and public pretenders have not done so. Not a single one of them. All of the shit that the cops have done in the past 6 years, no matter what officer it was, no matter what state it was, they went out of their way to destroy my credibility. They didn't bother looking at evidence. They went straight for destroying my credibility. Saying whatever they had to say, telling any lie that they had to tell in order to prevent the evidence of their crimes being shown. Why is that? Because every officer that I have dealt with has broken the law. Every single one of them. I am a disabled adult. I am an American citizen who was born in the United States. Don't tell me about soldiers fighting for my goddamn rights when I don't have any. You guys want to make 4,000 suggestions of shit that I've already wasted thousands and thousands of dollars on to fucking appease you? Thousands of dollars. And the evidence is all over my Facebook and all over my YouTube that I tried those things. That you guys want to continually pump at me. Well, you got to keep on trying. You got to keep on trying. And then there's the other half. You always do what you always did. You always get what you always got. So you got to try something different. So half of them are saying, just keep at it. Just keep at it. The other ones are like, hey, you need to do something different. You need to do something different. I got to try both because I need these people's help. I'm jumping through hoops that don't fucking work so that I can show people who aren't fucking listening that I'm fucking trying. I'm jumping through the hoops that they want so that they will fulfill their promises to help me how I need. And after jumping through those hoops and having no goddamn resources, I am still fucked. And then they throw me away because my resources are gone. When somebody is in a wheelchair and you suggest that they jump hurdles, when they come to you for help, you tell them to jump hurdles. He says, hey, I can't. I'm in a fucking wheelchair. Oh, well, now you're just making excuses. No, you're not going to do that to a person in a wheelchair, are you? You're not going to suggest to them 400 times that they need to jump hurdles. When they get sick of you being a fucking moron and not using any fucking common sense that somebody without legs is not going to jump the fucking hurdles, they're not capable of jumping the hurdles. Yes, they're done with you. They're sick of your fucking stupidity. Maybe your heart is in the right place. Maybe there's a $10,000 prize for the winner who jumps over those hurdles. But you have no fucking legs. You're not going to win. But they promise to help you if you try to win a fucking hurdle race. So there you are, running around on your friggin' nubs, trying to climb over these hurdles, and they're falling over. Obviously, you're not gonna fucking win. You have zero chance of fucking winning. And then when you don't win, they say, oh, well, I tried. No, the fuck you didn't. I ran the hurdles the best that I could. Will you keep your fucking word now? And of course not. And then there's people like Marcia Estrada. I explained to her, I've gone to all these places alone. I need someone there and present. That is literally what Penny Cooper is supposed to do. That is literally Penny Cooper's job. Just like it was Jen Beebe's job. And before that, it was Tamara's job. It was Kara Heller's job. This is literally what they are paid your tax dollars to do. That's right, folks. You are paying these people to fleece you and me. They're not interested in doing their jobs. They're interested in getting a paycheck for doing jack shit. I got $1 to live on until the 1st. $1. Fuck it, right? That's enough, right? I want you to consider that somebody sent me $100 last month, and I did not pay her back. She told me not to. So that was an extra $100 that I was able to use this month, and it still wasn't enough. with the cost of gas prices, me living in this car, having to turn on the heater to keep myself warm. Hey, it happens, right? That's right. We do the best we can with the resources that we have at hand. But at the same time, when you're homeless, you don't have any of the resources you need to defend yourself against false allegations. Not only that, when they announce your name all over the news as if you're some sort of a horrible monster, and you're stuck in public in an area where that news is for all of that area, yeah, people aren't nice. You're stuck in a situation where you're going to get victimized. You are going to get victimized. Not maybe, not there's a possibility. No, after having that happen to you, there is a 100% chance that you will be victimized. Now, there are things that could happen to prevent that person from being victimized. Like that person could be 6'5" and weigh 350 fucking pounds. Yeah, people are not likely to fuck with that guy. They'll talk shit. That's about it. People wanted to pretend like if they ignored it, like if they ignored the abuse, that it would stop. No. They're ignoring it because it's not happening to them. They have the luxury of ignoring it because it's not happening to them. But I don't want to deal with fucking stalkers. I sure as fuck don't want to deal with my brother's stalkers. And he's got dozens. You got no idea. When I was in Starbucks in Boulder, Colorado, probably 2 or 3 times a month, some fucking idiot woman would come in talking about how she's in love with my brother and wants me to say this and say that because he doesn't want nothing to do with her. He's not in love with you. He got his conquest. He busted a nut and now he's finished with you. And you're in love with him for it. So you're not actually there to see me. I'm not taking advantage of you that way. I'm not interested in busting a nut inside you. I'm also not interested in helping you to force my brother into a relationship. My brother's an asshole. Now, I got rules. No rabbit holes. If you've been with my brother, you are too stupid for my dating list. If you are addicted to abuse and you are addicted to assholes, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't. All you're going to do is destroy innocent lives because you're fucked up in the head. You are addicted to abuse. And you will destroy innocent men's lives to get that abuse. So no, I will not help you to stalk my older brother, Caitlin. Fuck off. Merry Christmas.